Hi, Donna.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thank you.
Donna has been on the show before. She is a regional marketing director with First Financial Security, Inc. Donna's husband, David, he's the man. David, how you doing today?
Just great. Thank
Good.
you. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. And on the end, Christina. Hi, Christina. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thank
Good.
you.
Thank you all for coming out today on a Sunday. I know that you guys were at church earlier today, and so you had to kind of rush and. You know, I hope you got permission from the man upstairs. So, Donna, let me start with you. Tell us how the Burks family got, into the financial services business.
Well, it just so happened that I was in it, as you know, about 4 years ago. And then Christina joined shortly thereafter. But there wasn't a lot of movement at that particular time. So in about a year or so later, we were at one of the conferences, and I came home and I was all motivated, and I came back and I talked to Christina, and and I explained to her about her opportunities and the potential of this business, and really having the chance to do something different with her life. And so, to take advantage of it. So that was Christina, so she started getting more engaged at that point. And then David came along a couple years ago.
Donna's not saying, but David and Donna are newlyweds. Yes. So we congratulate the newlyweds.
Welcome to Skills to Pay the Bills. This is the segment called the Wealth Zone University. I'm your host, Don Maraney. As you know, our mission is to change your mind about money to change your financial future. Over the past few segments, we've been talking about certain aspects of business finance and personal finance that we think are important to you. Essentially, as you know, we espouse what we call the 4 real secrets of money. That's saving, that's protecting your savings, that's making sure that you get a reasonable return through compounding and through interest, and last but not least, making sure we minimize income taxes on the money that you save. To us, that's very simple. That's the real secrets of money. That's how you build financial security. So what are we going to talk about today? I think it's really important. We're getting near the end of the year, and we need to talk about retirement savings and retirement savings plans. Why? Because we believe that retirement savings are a very important aspect of your security portfolio, and we also believe that retirement savings plans are a way for you to stash money, as we begin to say about savings, so that you can begin to accumulate your personal financial wealth and then also enhance that personal financial wealth. So get ready, get your retirement plan papers out, get your portfolio papers out. Let's begin to talk about you. Let's begin to talk about your retirement. The first thing we want to make sure is that everyone understands the different kinds of retirement plans that we're going to be talking about. There are employer-sponsored plans, mostly for employees, which the employer develops and offers and encourages the employees to participate in. There are plans for self-employed individuals. Again, very similar plans, but these are plans that people who are in business for themselves are allowed to form, organize, and contribute to, also as a form of savings. So why do we say that these retirement plans are so important? Well, they allow you to stash your money, actually save your money, mostly in a protected environment.
Distressed properties could cover a whole lot of subjects. One distressed property would be a property that needs repair. A distressed property could be a property whose owner has financial difficulties. So those are the two areas that most people think about when they think about distressed properties, either a financial problem or the property itself is in bad repair.
Okay, more specifically, give an example of, say, an owner who is distressed.
Well, that would be one of the people that we hear about on the news, on the radio, someone who owes more money than their property is worth and needs to sell, or someone who basically just fell on bad times, lost their job, someone in the family got sick, they stopped making mortgage payments, they're close to foreclosure. things like that.
Okay, we're going to talk more about people who are in a distressed position. But first, Leslie, tell me about a distressed property.
Well, those are usually properties where the homeowner hasn't been able to take care of them. They've fallen on disrepair, so they no longer hold the value that they once did. So their mortgage is more than the property may be worth. And like Ernestine said, usually that means someone hasn't been paying their mortgage and they're in a position where they're being forced to sell their home.
So it's a double whammy.
Right.
Okay, Ernestine, I would like for you to tell me what we've been doing so that the viewers will know exactly how we can help, or whether or not, if we're not the people to help them, they can call on someone else.
Well, we probably are the best ones to help them.
Why men save more money than women. Our next topic will focus on using a very old concept of bucket savings and how this concept works even today. And finally, if time permits, we want to have a discussion on the 5 elements of leveraging risk. So let's get right into it. Freeman, I happen to have a report before me, and it was compiled by the SaveUp.com organization, which I think they focus on savings and paying down the debt. And I have to admit to you, I was really a little disappointed when I saw this, because what it says is that women are lagging far, far behind men in savings. And I didn't realize that, so I really got upset about that. What can you tell me about
Well,
this
I'm
report?
a little upset about it also, because I dare to differ with this report, because women do save more money than men. It is, I should say, it is documented in other surveys and other reports. The females, the ladies, they save more money as far as 401ks are concerned, the IRAs, and their CDs and money market accounts. Now, I was noticing here the average 401k. Now, that is a big disparity between men and women.
Yes, it is.
When it comes to their employer-sponsored retirement accounts. Most of my practice, it's about 75%, believe it or not, 75% are women
Really?
who have income programs that we've designed. Our practice designed these programs so that they would have a guaranteed income. And the rollovers I've seen from the various employer-sponsored retirement accounts, such as 401ks, TSPs, or I should refer to as thrift savings plans, 403bs. All these employer-sponsored retirement accounts we rolled over into IRAs. There's a high participation among women when it comes to the money market. Now, I do see that there's a $2,000 difference there. The ladies, they have emergency funds because they have a lot, they pull from these emergency monies, the money markets, for various activities they're involved with, their grandchildren, children, etc. So I don't think men save as much because they have their toys.
Now, let's get right into this business about term insurance, because term insurance has been around forever, for as long as I can remember. But in the last couple of years, it seems like it's taken a turn. I mean, about a year and a half ago, I heard about, maybe not even a year and a half, maybe just about a year ago, I heard about this return on premium with term insurance. Now I'm hearing about living benefits, and that's almost unheard of. So can you just talk about that a little bit?
Sure. Believe it or not, a traditional term, most folks out there, what do? They go to work, and I pay cheap $10, $15 term insurance to my work because my work provides that, company pays for it, and then I could also at the same time pay extra to get extra benefit,
Right.
death benefit. But those kind of term really, you got to die and somebody else benefit.
That's true.
I would say most term out there are like that today. The industry has changed. So what if we can come out with a term policy? Let's first just talk about the living benefits term. The living benefit terms is this. So for the same $20 that you're paying for your company, you know, for that $100,000 or $200,000 death benefit, What if you could use that money while you're alive and not unless you have to die, you know? And that's what's really important. And gosh, you know, Tia, I sit there and I do financial literacy and in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. And you know, the funny thing is less than 5% of the entire room looked at me like, are you from another planet?
Right.
Because the new term nowadays, if you happen to drive a car and somebody hits you, you get hurt really bad, well, guess what? This term could become long-term care.
Really?
Yeah, and then, you know, and what if, you know, you and I are pretty healthy, knock on wood, okay, but.
At my age.
Right, but what if, in a situation, I suddenly have a heart attack or stroke, it's gonna happen to us, I believe, before death. Does that make sense? So while I'm alive, I want to have protection. And if I did get into a heart attack or stroke, where I'm not dead, I'm just kind of disabled,
Right.
well, this policy can pay me an income monthly.
Owner of Crucial Fitness. So that gives you a little clue about what we're going to talk about today. One of our favorite pastimes is body movement, and I'd like to see all the hands in the audience of everybody who loves to exercise. Everybody's so excited about this, right? But you know, we need to, in today's times, figure out what can enhance our appreciation for exercise, as it is part of total wellness. Now, Tanya is going to grace us with more knowledge on total wellness and exercise. So we'd like to welcome you, Tanya, to our show today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We're so glad you're here. Thank you for joining us. And you know what? Tanya says she's a country girl. Hard to believe, because she's so sharp. And she's one of 6 siblings.
So I've been with Microsoft. I'm approaching my 4-year anniversary. I feel super fortunate, and I was really excited to be part of the selected to open up one of our first stores when we were building out these retail locations. So we opened up our first store in Mission Viejo, California. I then went to open a store in San Diego, a third store in Bellevue, Washington, and then I was picked to open up our first store in the Northeast here in Tyson's Corner. So
Wow,
really
that's
exciting.
great.
Yeah,
That's great. I know that Microsoft has just released Windows 8, I think, is October or
Yep.
somewhere like that, October 2012. Could you tell us more about Windows 8 and what it offers to general user?
Yeah, absolutely. So first off, Windows 8 has been completely reimagined. It really allows people to get the best experience for both work and play. You can be incredibly productive with the touchscreen utilization that is part of Windows 8, but you can also still use a mouse and a keyboard if that's the way that you want to be productive. Windows 8 is compatible and works with all the software and all the devices that worked with Windows 7. So all the stuff that you were used to and everything you loved about your previous PC experience, you can carry that over and you can still use it in a Windows 8 environment.
Right.
The book is a very practical, hands-on primer for people that provides a lot of case studies and examples of work that I've done and my colleagues have done for our clients, and practical advice on the things you need to do to win people over when they're angry worried and suspicious of everything you say.
Okay, I've decided I want to run for city council member of my district, in my little town. And a few years ago, I made a big mistake. I called somebody, you know, a name that I should not have called them. Not a really bad name, but just enough to rub them the wrong way. And I'm hoping that they've forgotten. However, there are a couple of other people who remembered it, and now they know that I'm running for public office. So I hire your company to come in, and you guys are going to make it right. What do you tell me?
Well, I think the first thing that we would tell you is there's a lot of power in an apology. I don't think a lot of public officials and corporate officials really understand that that's true. And that goes to a very important point that I make in the book, and I'm glad you brought it up. Now, let me step back here a little bit and talk a little bit of theory. As I said, not very much. But about 40 years ago, a professor at UCLA named Albert Marabanian did some seminal work looking at how we decide whether or not we like somebody or trust them and find them credible. And what he discovered was that primarily the way we judge people is not by what they say, but by what they look like and how their facial expressions and their mannerisms.
First impressions.
First impressions, that's exactly right.
Hi, Larry. How are you?
Just fine, Tia. How are you?
I am doing just wonderful.
Thank you.
And I want to congratulate you on becoming a host for one of the segments on Rock Your Block.
Thank you.
And I'm real excited about some of the interviews that you're going to be doing.
Yes, I'm really looking forward to that and working with you, and also bringing a lot of the experience and things that First Home Alliance is doing in the field to our set.
Super. Larry, what is First Home Alliance?
Well, Tia, First Home Alliance is a nonprofit. We provide housing counseling, education, foreclosure prevention to the community here in Northern Virginia, primarily in Prince William County. And we help save people from foreclosure, and we educate potential home buyers on the process of becoming successful homeowners.
Okay. Well, why is home ownership so important to you?
Well, home ownership is important to me. It's rooted, mainly I'm very excited for people to become homeowners. One, that it helps our economy.
What's cooking in the kitchen today?
Well, we're starting out first with Buckeyes, which are a peanut butter and chocolate treat. If you've had Reese's peanut butter cups, they're sort of similar to that. They originated in Ohio. Okay. They look like the nut of the Buckeye tree is why they're called that. And then we're going to make a peanut butter and jelly pie.
Yum, yum, yum. This is exciting. So tell us what you're doing.
All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to start out with the Buckeyes, and I've got all the ingredients here. First up is peanut butter, and we actually need 1.5 cups of peanut butter. And I put a cup in already, but I have this handy trick for measuring peanut butter that I thought I would share. Okay. And that is to use displacement, which is I have a cup of water here. Anything sticky, you know, when you measure it, it gets all over and you never get your whole measurement. So if you fill it with water with a cup, and I need 1.5 cups, I need 1/2 cup, so that scoop was exactly 1/2 cup. When I put the peanut butter in, the water rose, so I knew that it rose by 1/2 cup, so that's 1/2 cup of peanut butter that went in. And so then I can just scoop it out, drain it off, and I didn't get peanut butter all over my measuring thing, so I got...
That is neat. Where'd you learn? Did you learn that from your mom?
No, you know, science class.
Science class.
Science class. So now we have 1.5 cups of peanut butter, and we're going to mix in 1/4 cup of softened cream cheese. So you just need to leave it out overnight so that it's nice and soft, so it mixes up really well. And I'm going to mix that up really quickly. All right. Yeah.
Wow. You know, peanut butter is one of my favorite pastimes. I love peanut butter.
Is peanut butter a pastime?
Yeah, it is. Okay. It's a pastime for me.
All right, so now what we add is we add 10 tablespoons of butter, so not low fat at all.
This is a real thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
10 tablespoons of butter, softened. Again, leave it out. And that's the trash can. And let's go ahead and mix that up too. And now,
it smells delicious already.
You can really smell the peanuts, can't you?
Yes, you can.
We're going to add in 1 cup of almond flour.
just kind of bring us up to speed on Life Waters Ministries International
Okay.
and the people you serve.
All right. This ministry is a ministry that my husband Jimmy and I started in 1996, about 17 years ago in June, this coming June. And it started basically as a ministry of music. And over time, we branched out and started hosting retreats and hosting conferences and doing speaking and things of that nature. We also host our Single But Not Alone retreat, which you're familiar with. We just had that this past March. Wow. And that's for single Christian women who are just trying to understand what it means to be single in this time. And we try to reach out to those who are just perfectly happy with being single, as well as those who are single now, but definitely hoping to be in a relationship at some time. So we try to expand the gamut there, and God always gives us what we need to do that. This ministry also hosts an annual trip each year to New York. I always say that God kind of plays a trick on us. He disguises it as a shopping trip, and we travel to New York on a bus. And he's just up and down the aisle, just doing some wonderful things for the ladies on the bus, some healing and some encouragement, some restoration.
Give us some background about the All Nations Church of God.
Well, All Nations Church of God has been around since around 1962. It was formerly Bailey's Crossroads Church of God, and has been Bailey's Crossroads Church of God, Alexandria Church of God, and then it was Fillmore Avenue Church of God, and then it changed to All Nations Church of God. And I believe that name change was by the Lord, because we do have many nations represented at the church. Wow. All Nations Church of God. So
about how many? How many nationalities?
So about 14 right now, and as people come in, that of course that number changes. But right now we have about 14 nationalities.
Fantastic.
Yes.
Wow, that's great. Well, now you know, co-pastor Emily, behind every good man is a good woman.
Yes, there is.
Fantastic woman.
Amen. Yes, yes, definitely.
So tell us a little bit about your role as co-pastor.
Okay, well, I serve as the church administrator, and so I schedule the events that happen at the church. And this past Sunday, we honored our mothers, and I also honored our women. So we had a cupcake celebration and things of that nature, vacation Bible school, and I hope my husband's, confidant and best friend and support system. So pretty much the lay members and pastoral staff, they typically will run things by me, and then we will go to the pastor.
So you sometimes act as kind of a shield to kind of weed out things so that the pastor has time to study and to pray. I mean, it would be crazy if everybody was running to the pastor with every little thing.
Right, absolutely.
Pastor, can you tie my shoe? Can you do that?
Yes, yes.
So
yes.
that you're the filter.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the background of Bridges of Love International Ministries. How did you get started, and how were you able to hook up with Bishop Adenall and co-pastor Adenall?
Well, I call that divine design. It was God created, and I have no doubt in my mind that it was that. God put his hands in this, and we were able to come to church and be accepted by our pastor, awesome pastor. And, since that moment, God have moved in such a way, and he have given us the opportunity to keep working together, and reaching the kids out there.
Right. Oh, that's fantastic. That's awesome. Well, Wally, I'm going to ask you the same question that I asked co-pastor Emily, and that is, behind every good man is a fantastic woman. And I can just look at you and look at that smile and tell you're fantastic and you're awesome. So tell us, what is your role in the Bridges ministry?
Yes, well, we work, most everything we do together. We teach, both of us teach, both of us mentor. We do, we try to be more personal with the kids, one-on-one. Some of the things I do because of his work, takes a lot of his time, so I do some of the management and all these kind of things. But almost everything we do the same. Yes, there is a lot of prayer and lifting him up. So because I have more time than he does because of his responsibilities in the house. But everything we do together. We do reach out, not a lot of reach out because we're already packed in the place where we are. So we want more kids, but we don't fit in there. So we're praying. We're praying. God is going to provide a place soon, and everything. I cannot take credit for anything by myself. We work as a team more than anything right now, and we do have help from some of the kids. So. We pray, we teach, we mentor, we visit the sick, everything that needs to be done, we do it together.
And you say it can't be done, but I took my shades off and now I see the sun. And you say I cannot go, but I know it's my God, He has all control. You had no place in me. You have no place in me. Got a God who's got the victory. So away from me. I've the King. I'll take my sling and I'll take my song and I'll nail it on your forehead, bro. And I'll take His hand and from peak to peak we go. He is my strong tower. In Him I shall fear no thing. My light and salvation. I know He will rescue me. He is my strong tower. In Him I shall fear no thing. My light and salvation. I know He will rescue me. So